So I just watched this video again this morning after replying to a few comments and just... it's not good. There are a lot of things I really just needed to think twice about before even opening my mouth. Because I spoke inconsistently, did not elaborate properly, and just made a really bad comparison for the majority of people to understand my perspective from. So this is going to be a short follow-up video to basically correct myself and point out some obvious flaws in my video. So starting with the first one that I feel like is a good point, but I completely misrepresent my own point and make it even more like a fucking crazy person point, was the point about power creep. Because I say what determines power creep, but I lead into it saying his reasoning behind why WuWa doesn't have power creep. This is where my due diligence actually failed me, because I was not paying attention clearly. If I simply just lead into it saying that this is what determines power creep, and not the fact that it proves that there's any power creep, then my point would make a lot more sense. Because holy shit, I feel like this is really a bad mistake because it just makes me sound even worse. And if there's one thing you don't want to do, is that you don't want to shoot yourself in the foot. As well as the fact that I threw in the skill issue argument, which the problem here is that it's a fucking entire video topic for itself. And that is my next video, but it deserves a lot more work than whatever this fucking shit video was. But it also leads into my next point, which was inside of that same talk about power creep, was my comparison to HSR. And that was because I meant it in the most literal sense, but I just straight up say, like, it's a straight comparison. And that's the problem I have with myself and my phrasing, is that you can't actually fucking say this without expecting people to make a straight comparison. Gotta actually be careful with how I phrase things, for fuck's sake, otherwise people are gonna easily misinterpret it or misconstrue the argument. But in short, what I was saying is, dot in HSR is bad right now, and how would that kinda translate into WuWa terms? And that was what I was trying to do. Did it work? No, because power creep in both of these games are completely different, and what I was trying to do was trying to bridge a gap into how it kinda looks like in WuWa, but I completely failed, and that's on my end. And that was a shit comparison, and that's just what I'm gonna have to live with, and that's my bad. Next up is honestly how I sound and how I presented the video overall. I think the first like 40 seconds is fine, but like, bro, like looking back, I feel like this is super cringe and vindictive. It's also just super immature in the grand scheme of things. It's like I'm putting myself on a pedestal, like what the fuck am I doing here? Which, believe it or not, as much as I dislike Saint Tontas, I do actually agree with a lot of his points about the overall game, but when it comes to literally anything else, yeah, no. Because the thing is, I give credit where credit is due, because believe it or not, I actually watch his videos. Just not his reaction videos. Because half of the time, I feel like he's not getting the point of some of them. But when it comes to anything in the game, good. And now this leads into the other fucking point, so why did I even bring it up? Well, honestly, in reflection, I think this is probably one of those videos, or one of those times, where I feel like everything I did when I was making this video just feels like a fucking blur, and I don't remember why I made it. I think this is probably the first time where I did actually let emotions get the better of me. But hey, you live and you learn. And I am willing to be honest about that. And people might not believe me, but I'm actually not mad that Tectone didn't react to my video. I am way more mad of the principle of the fact that he didn't want to listen to both sides. Because no matter what I do, that will be how people see it, and I'm gonna have to live with that. Remember, a wise man once said, you can build 1,000 bridges, but if you suck one dick, you're a dick sucker. And that's the only thing people are gonna remember me for. But believe it or not, I am very open to criticism, and not only that, I found out that Genocide reacted to the video. And well, this is a jump within my own recording session right here, but everything that I was already self-critical of, including also opinions and takes and all that shit, Genocide just presented it as it is, which is what I do appreciate. And these 2 points specifically, yeah, he was on my ass for that one, which is good because I was already, like, bashing my head against the wall when I realized I made this mistake. So it's good to know that I'm not, like, completely far gone. And also just the general things that are way more opinionated and way more subjective that, like, isn't related to any of, like, the critiques that he made towards my video. They were super valuable insights as always. It was good shit. Like, I genuinely mean all of it. As in, unironically, just make better content. Be well spoken, provide good points, and also stay consistent. And in fact, I also agree with everything he said after he was done with reacting to the video. In short, diagnosis, skill issue. Get good. And I think it's genuinely fair. Because believe it or not, as much as the chat wants to think that's the case, I don't consider myself a victim. I'm just some fucking random guy on the internet And well, I gotta be honest, I don't condone direct hate, but I do not condone dishonest and bad faith arguments. Which is why I say a big thank you to Jenazad. Because at the end of the day, he did not need to watch that video, but he chose to, and I'm really happy that he did. Because at the end of the day, any opportunity to grow is a good one, and it has definitely made me think twice about how I should approach content. I do think my best videos were the ones that I spent the most time on, and when I look back on this video, I really didn't put that much effort into it, and it clearly shows. So that's what I'm gonna do. Put more effort into my content, and make sure that I don't cringe over my own videos. God, that was bad. But either way, I'll see you guys next time when I find something that pisses me the fuck off.